Hello, folks. Welcome to Striking Ground. I'm your host, Steve G, where I'll be breaking down some MMA today and giving you the raw review on my opinion, which are like assholes, and everybody's got one, but this is some shit you would want to hear. Okay, so we'll start by the main event in this new deal with Paramount, the first event, UFC 324. We got Paddy versus Gaethje. And let's talk about it. A lot of people are going with Paddy. And I want you guys not to make the mistake, if you're wagering, to get confused by the odds, especially when there's a person like Paddy who has a nation behind him. You got a good chance of a lot of people wagering on him just because they love him, especially when they haven't had a star like that. You know what I mean? And that could sway the odds dramatically. It's kind of like Bud versus Canelo, you know? A lot of people that weren't casuals knew that Bud was going to win. But it's just that when you have Mexico, which is super huge, you know what I mean? A lot of people betting on Canelo. That's what swayed the odds to have him the favorite. So Paddy hasn't fought the level of competition Gaethje has had. Gaethje is older. Let's go back and forth. Paddy has the momentum. He's big. He's cutting a lot of weight. I'm sure to this point it's still an advantage. I didn't see him in between camps blow up like he usually does as much. So he's been staying in fairly good shape where I think it's still an advantage for him, you know? Because you're dehydrating your brain when you cut a lot of weight like that. So ultimately, if you've been cutting weight for too long and, you know, it starts becoming a disadvantage, you know, where your body can't take it no more. Or even when you're young, and your body's still growing, you know, you could come to one of them points like Errol Spence did with Bud Crawford. We're kind of using that as an example. Or let's better yet, Gastelum, you know, not being able to make welterweight anymore. Yeah, it's just cutting too much is very detrimental to the body, and it slows your recovery time. A lot of the times when you dehydrate your brain like that and you get rocked or something like that, it's going to be hard for you to recover. Like Dillashaw was hard to recover versus Cejudo, versus when he was fighting at bantamweight, not flyweight. He had better recovery time because he wasn't cutting as much. You know, just to kind of break that down a little bit for you. So if you watched the fight with Paddy versus Jared Gordon, it was a few years ago, and you don't want to use that as a comparison with somebody else because styles make fights. But I haven't seen too many changes. A lot of the tools that Justin Gaethje possesses can negate what Paddy's majority of the time game plan is. So you're going to come out, Paddy. When you box with him, you're slower than him. You have less defense. You hold your chin up. You have a wide stance that exposes you for the outside calf kick. Okay, now Gaethje. This isn't the old Homer Simpson. He's been fighting smart since fighting Ferguson. He's taken this really serious. Who's more hungry? I don't know what to lean that towards. Let's just say maybe Paddy, you know. But he perhaps is overlooking him. If you've looked at interviews, he might be biting off more than he can chew because what you possess, you know, being able to take somebody's back, this is a different kind of back. You take the back well of previous opponents. This isn't an opponent that is going to easily let you take his back, considering he trains with Kamaru Usman, who is a welterweight that's actually heavier and pretty good welterweight, that does nothing but sharpen him, make him even stronger. So with the wrestling and the grappling exchanges. So we're definitely in the Whitman camp looking to see, you know, where Paddy is good at so that we could defend these possible chokes and all these different scrambles that might lead to, you know, Paddy landing in a good position so that he could possibly finish him with a submission. Very unlikely Very unlikely. Be careful. So I have Patty losing. I have Arnold Allen, another dog. That's a 2 pick for you. Trust me on this one.